Ranger, weren't you going to ask like what everyone's favorite movie is?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it awkward.
That was a long.
Or I could tell you what my favorite book was from this past year.
What was
Yeah,
that?
Elias Bernert, hail! Good to see you.
I told you.
I didn't say it earlier, but Craig had joined us for a bit. Don't know if he's still there. Hail, James Craig. He said Happy New Year. But yeah, from the past year, out of everything I read, my favorite turned out to be The Black Saint from Timo Burnham.
I've started that book. Yeah, it's not bad.
I love this book. All right, and I know a lot of people disagree with me, but when I was reading throughout the year, actually, I might have finished it at the end of last year. I had read Shad's book, Shadow of the Conqueror, and I actually really liked it. I know.
I did too. Most people don't, and I understand it, but yeah.
Well,
but I still found it to be fun.
Listen,
And,
I can't comment
but
on
then
the novel.
I was calling that my favorite until Infinite Money Glitch knocked that down a peg. But then The Black Saint, I picked that up, and nothing's touched it since.
It looks cool. Batman meets Lord of the Rings in this fast-paced fantasy action thriller.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Yeah, no, I was reading the beginning of it. I'm like, oh, I wonder. It starts off very different than how I expected a fantasy novel with this cover to start out. It starts off very, it's very focused
Grounded.
on the interpersonal relationships and more like ballroom politics and like basically learning how to function in this kind of society. It gets to here eventually, but I'm only just getting there myself.
Yeah, but let's be honest, there's no fourth wing.
I have Timo's other book that I mean to read. It's Dawn of the Black Sun. I actually plan on reading and reviewing that one.
If you guys get a chance, you need to read Daniel's Aes Sedai.
Dude, Aes Sedai is so solid.
It was a lot of fun.
That was one of my favorite books I read. Like one of my favorite Iron Age books I read.
I can't wait to see what that looks like as a comic. The fact that it got funded is amazing.
Yep.
King Bob just said, I read his other book. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. King Bob, you are referring to
Timo, I think.
What was it called? The Black Dawn?
The Black
Dawn
Saint.
of the Black Sun.
Dawn of the Black Sun. Is that the one you're referring to?
I assume so. Also, Evley, like you say, don't judge a book by its cover, but anyone who's like me and has gone shopping for books has purchased a book based on either a name or a cover and nothing else.
And let's face it, a cover is a great way to grab attention one on a shelf with all the others there.
Hey, that's what got me into Mythicals, and I don't regret that. I can't wait for the second one.
Well, other than a cover or name recognition, what is going to be your determining factor for buying a book?
This is a bande dessinée, translated into English of Michael Moorcock's Elric and Stormbringer. How much do I love Elric? I named my second son Elric. And look at that cover. Look at the name. Tell me you wouldn't see that and immediately want to buy it. Also, the art here is fantastic.
I already have it.
Yeah, see? I'm going through all the Elric novels again. Now, the audio version this time. And I freaking... Moorcock's a demon with writing, man. He does such a good job.
Not every one of his books are the best, but when he hits hard.
Well, a lot of people down on Poor Fortress of the Pearl, but that's one of my favorites, honestly.
The
I really like
opening
that
for
Allen,
it
I
is a
love
little
that.
slow.
I love
but
that.
once it gets going, it's really fun.
Yeah,
In fact,
100%.
By the way, Tim Allen, my second book, Wolves Will Eat, has a map. It has a map.
Do you
That's
have
what
it?
we're getting on to Herman for. He
Do you
needs
have
a
one of your
map.
map
Oh,
copies?
for Christ's sakes, get over it, Billy.
I got to step up my game.
might.
Both of my books are mapless.
Yeah,
It's like being made. It's like being made in
okay?
Elden Ring.
You need a map of the stars, okay?
I'd have to find the image. I could probably share it.
You're getting a map in the next book. Get off.
Damn it!
Thank you, Herb. Thank you, Hedge.
Make the map.
Make the map.
Watch in the bottom of the friggin' map is a tiny little print that you look under fetch a magnifying glass. It says, "I made your damn map."
Then
And
right
what's to be
below
happy?
it reads off Billy Bob
What's to be
Sack was
happy?
wrong.
Also, while we're here, in any kind of media, what was the biggest surprise of the last year, positive or negative? Like I remember I read a couple books that really, really surprised me with the level of quality.
Can we
and I
give
expected
two options for positive and negative?
everyone except Billy Bob. Yes,
Fuck you. Frequency's book was a positive.
I still need to read it. No spoilers.
It's no spoilers, but it's actually really well done.
I said no spoilers.
It's a good kid book. I like it.
I think the biggest surprise.
I
for me-
never intended that to be. I mean,
Monty,
yes,
I
I
wouldn't
kept
even
it
say
kid
it's
friendly,
a
but
kid
I wasn't
book.
intended to be for kids. I was intended to be for young adults.
I wouldn't even say it's a kid's book. I mean, kids definitely can read it, but it's not. It
It's
doesn't have
clean.
the simple prose of kids' books. It's actually got something there.
What
Mm.
were
I think
you
the
saying?
biggest
Gary?
surprise for me was like first it was Mandalorian season 3 sucking horribly.
Oh, that was so
I was
disappointing.
shocked by that, but then what shocked me was that every single Disney show was not just
Bad.
bad, it was an
Horrendously
absolute
bad.
embarrassment to the
How about that Loki season 2?
It's so awful. I hate. Listen,
I
think
did
that
like the
actually-
ending.
I saw that ending scene, Wrangler. I agree. That
It's
is a
not
great
Loki.
scene in an otherwise terrible freaking show.
Yeah, I believe I described it as a beautiful cherry put on top of a shit sundae. But
Yeah, that's very accurate.
Christian, you know what my negative surprise one's going to be?
Wait. I think Garrett's got a rant. I could see it on his face.
Wait, what?
His kahunas are tingling. He's ready for a rant.
He's got the R face.
No, I'm always ready for a rant. You just, whatever you want me to tune up, I'll tune it up for you.
oh,
It's like,
yeah,
rants,
kick on that speech music that you do.
oh yeah, yeah, it's called Magnificent March. It's royalty-free music from Epidemic Sound. Now,
It's like
Ooh.
Bruce Banner. He's always angry.
that's my secret, man. I'm always angry. No, I'm always angry at bad storytelling and arrogant creatives who feel entitled to our fandom screw up. Anyway,
And who insult their fandoms to their face? The people who support
100%.
them.
Yeah,
Freaking
that little
morons.
New York Times twerp, Herman, that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, he strikes me as the kind of guy that's going to say he's going to defend a lot of this kind of behavior of like the fans are toxic. Why are the fans so toxic? Just enjoy it for what it is. And it's like, there's a lot I enjoyed this year, but what shocked me was that even a broken clock should be right twice a day. Like Disney should accidentally make a good show once in a while, but it was such garbage. All of it was such garbage. And Ahsoka, I think, was kind of the worst. That I voted that as my worst show of the year, and that's because it had
Worst?
the most. Yes, the worst. And it
Well,
had
I
the-
saw She-Hulk.
I could say most disappointing. I don't know if it was
She-Hulk was last
actually
year,
the
wasn't it?
worst.
Was it
Yeah,
Was it last
She-Hulk,
year?
yeah, She-Hulk was
Year
not
before
this.
that.
Yeah, it was the.
Oh, I
lead
thought that was
before
this.
that.
I thought it was
We're
early this
blending
year.
It was
TV
not
shows
this
so
last
much.
year. It was last year.
Well,
Yeah,
Ahsoka
we're
was the
blending all
worst
these
because
shitty shows into 1 year. We can't really remember. It's just
It's
3,
been a
4,
stream of
5
bullshit.
What? Wait, hold on. I want to hear his rant.
I just the reason why it was the worst is because it had the most going for it. Like it had
Yeah.
Ray Stevenson, it had a fascinating idea with Admiral Thrawn. It had I like Ahsoka in the Clone Wars. I think she's a great character, and I loved her ending, escaping Order 66.
I even liked
it-
her in Rebels. I thought she was good in that show too.
Yeah, can we get
Yes.
can we get rid of what's
But
his
it was
name?
awful.
Dave
It was-
Filoni?
That's the biggest surprise of the year. I respected Dave Filoni until
Yeah.
the Ahsoka show. I really did think like, well, he's proven
Surprise.
he's done Clone Wars. I don't understand. He can't like the dialogue in Ahsoka is bizarre because it's like there's a thing in improv. If anyone's done improv, right? You never disagree with the premise. If someone says, "Hey, what's that hat on your head?" You don't say, "There's no hat on my head," because that kills the gag, right?
Uh-huh.
You would just do a riff on it. You'd be like, "Oh, this hat? Why, this is my rabbit hat." Whatever it is, right? Now in the show, Ahsoka, literally they spoil every dialogue because like there's
Yep.
a scene, for example, where Ahsoka Hu Yang, the robot, says, "Would you like to hear a story?" And Ahsoka says, "Not right now." And it's like, "Here's your lightsaber, Ezra." He's like, "I don't want it." Like every dialogue in this show is like this. I can't stand it. Anyway,
Hail Pritchard Pub.
Yo, Pritchard Pub. Yeah, no, I feel like I had some negative. Like at this point, I'm so cynical of the mainstream media that I'm not surprised when something is bad anymore. In fact, I kind of expect it. But
I'm surprised when something's good.
Oh,
that's what I
know
got.
which
Yeah,
one you got. I know which one you can talk about. The one we thought was going to be complete fucking utter garbage, and you came out and was like, "It's okay."
Oh, Hunger Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did
that was-
me and a bunch of us did a reread of the first Hunger Games book, and we're like, it's actually
Yeah, it's fine.
good. It's fine. It's like it's not this offensively bad thing I was worried it would become when we
You
reread
know,
it.
what
But
was
it didn't come out in
surprising?
2023.
I went and saw Wonka. My brother invited me to go see it with his girlfriend. It was
Yeah.
actually decent.
Well, it looks like they had real Oompa Loompas this time.
They did, but no, it was.
How'd they get Ben Shapiro?
But I didn't think I'd enjoy it. I actually really did. I mean, there was nothing deep in terms of storytelling. It was kind of just slapstick humor, but it just had that little Wonka magic to it. If you like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. What
growing up.
happened to the black chick? How'd they write her off for the original?
Oh.
He actually reunited her with her mom.
I thought she fucking died a horrible death in his factory.
We found her dad. We found her dad in the chocolate factory. That's where he's getting the milk.
Oh god.
This just went dark.
Pack of cigarettes. Anyway.
I was trying to give it a compliment, jackass.
I don't think they could
The
make
Willy
Gene
Wonka
Wilder
prequel.
one.
Maji's laying it through her
I'm
beta.
sorry.
Hold up, Christian. The prequel is 12 Years a Slave.
Oh,
No,
Well,
it's
just
not.
now,
As,
I
it's
just
not
now.
as magical as the Gene Wilder. that
The
is for sure.
sequel is Roots.
That's the problem though, because back then they made this stuff without all the toys and gadgets they have now, and they made it better.
Yeah, well, that was a real set. Like looking back, like I watched the original again recently. The sets are incredible.
Well, no, that room was like if you watch the bonus features on the first time it was released in DVD and Blu-ray, that everything in that room was 100% edible. I mean, according to Gene Wilder, it didn't taste good, but it was edible.
Yep. I had a couple surprises this year. A few mainstream books that were really good, but the biggest one of all, there was I got recommended this by someone because I was looking for a good a fun romance story. And they said, "Hey, there's this webcomic." I'm like, "I'm not reading a webcomic." Like, no. It got popular and they turned it into a physical book. I'm like, "All right, let's see it." And so I started reading Lore Olympus, and it's partially woke garbage, but but the art style is intriguing and the storytelling is decent, and it's nothing that blows my mind, but the story is fun. Between that and the art. Like this is the example of what a good story can do if it has the right elements and it actually is trying to tell a good story. Like this has woke stuff that I disagree with, but as a whole, the story is an enjoyable read. In fact, I own
Volume 3. You read.
these boys are thick too. I got three or four of these things. Yeah, 4. Like the art style is it's nothing that blows your mind, but the color palette, it's a fun read, man. Cute relationship.
But everything pops. It's easy to understand at a glance.
Yeah, no, like there's no confusion about what's happening in a scene. All the core things that you need in a good comic are there. And the fact that they took this from a webcomic and turned it into a really comprehensive, easily understandable book, it's pretty impressive. I really enjoy this.
Do you think sometimes comic books suffer from being over artworked?
Like there's so much going on, you can't. You look at the page and it's like,
Or worse, they
Busy.
have too much dialogue. Like everyone praises books that are really good at visual storytelling, and then they also praise The Dark Knight Returns, which is such a there's whole pages where the entire panel is like this, and the panels are this big going across, completely filled with dialogue and bad art.
The Dark
Okay, I
Knight
thought you were-
Returns isn't even the
forgot what you
worst
were talking
example
about.
of too
It's
much
not, but
dialogue.
it's one of the most popular. That's the
That
thing.
is
It's
fair.
it's baffling how popular that book is, considering how little visual storytelling is actually done in it. Anyway, that's my thing.
No, between that.
Thank you
and
for those
Batman
words of
Year One,
wisdom,
a lot of
Tim
it
Allen.
is character narration.
So to recap, this Greek retelling based on a woke webcomic is better than The Dark Knight Returns.
By the way, Tim Allen, you're right. The Gene Wilder's the only real version. Can't make
No.
it today because the body positivity movement is never going to allow the lesson of the Chocolate River to happen in a modern movie.